Good morning and happy Wednesday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroy Nation coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy Wednesday to all of you. Hump Day! Trump Day! Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump Day! Mikey Motorbikey. Winky thinks it's funny that we call our cat Tucker Mikey. He looks like a Michael. I'm sorry. See, here's the deal. Look. Here's the deal. You guys want to see? So if you hit 1,000, if we hit 1,000 likes live today, we will get Tucker in, and I'll show you that he actually looks like a cat that should be named Michael. That's why I call him Mikey Boy sometimes, right? Because he's got his Mikey face. See, you don't know what I'm talking about till you see it. But once you see it, I'll say, look, this looks like, a cat that could be named Mikey, right? You guys understand what I'm saying. Winky thinks that's funny that we call him Mikey. It is kind of funny. All right, we're going to jump right into, we got a bunch to get to today. The Democrats, look, here's the deal. The Democrats are trying to get away with blaming Trump for Sheridan Gorman's death. I don't know why I do know why. I do know why they think people are going to fall for it, because people fall for their garbage all the time. All the time. Bad Moon is going off. 1,000 likes. You must have fallen off your chair. We barely get to 800. Hey, that ain't my fault. He's not wrong. We got a lot of people who are just like passengers.
He's mayoral.
Yeah. It's hard enough to get Mo. Look at this. Look. Everyone's like, it's hard enough to see Mo. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions. No. The Democrats are trying to blame Sheridan Gorman's death on Donald Trump. By the way, I think today is opening day for MLB. So happy opening day for the baseball fans out there. Sheridan Gorman's death is not Donald Trump's fault. Okay? Like, I don't know what world that we exist in here where this is even remotely possible, but you will see, there are people who will repeat the talking points and repeat the propaganda and the slop that comes out of the mouth of Jiggly Belly Pritzker, whose belly is a lot smaller now. I don't know what he's on. Probably the fat shot Trump RX. Congratulations, it's more affordable for belly. Okay? But I want you to understand the Democrat Party and these guys like Pritzker, Brandon Johnson, and this is what I'm talking about with Mamdani, and I've said this to a bunch of people as well. And this is where I stand on him. And we're going to talk about his stupidity at some point today on the show. But no matter what happens, even when their own policies are to blame, and in this case, in the case of Sheridan Gorman, their policies are absolutely to blame, they will blame Donald Trump. Because A, they want to avoid accountability, but B, they know their base would be like, oh yeah, of course it's Trump's fault. Of course. Bad weather, Trump's fault. Traffic, Trump's fault. Illegal aliens committing crime, Trump's fault. Who does that sound like, by the way? Who does that sound like? No matter. She does that a lot. The gays. She's got Tourette's over there. The gays. Hide stuff. It's funny. No, who does that sound? So traffic is Trump's fault. Weather is Trump's fault. Well, yes, but who
Nancy
else? Who else does that? Blaming a boogeyman for all of their problems.
The Jews.
Yes. Well, the Jews don't do it, but the people,
that blame
right?
The Jews.
These people, right? It's the Jews. Everything's the Jews' fault. They're trying to blame Trump for a problem that their policies directly caused. And that would be the death of Sheridan Gorman. The tragic death of Sheridan Gorman in Chicago outside of Loyola University. 18 years old. Her whole life was ahead of her. Shot and killed by an illegal alien who, according to some more recent reports, basically hunted this poor girl and shot her in cold blood when she turned around and fled for her life. Hunted. Oh, she's just, these illegals are just here for a better life, man. Come on. They're not all like this. I don't care if they're all like, I don't really care, Margaret, right? I don't care if they're all like this or not. Enough of them clearly are like this because it keeps happening. And we talk about the ones who, are murdering people on this show a lot because those are that's the big story. But there are carjackers, there are rapists, there are drug dealers. And I love this too. Well, only a very small percentage of illegal aliens have violent criminal history in this country. So that's not fair, man. This guy who just murdered Sheridan Gorman, of course, allegedly, he hasn't been convicted yet, but, it looks like he's going to be convicted because the evidence is quite overwhelming, but he will have his day in court. This guy who is the alleged murderer of Sheridan Gorman, he didn't have a violent criminal history before he did this, and that's the point. That's the point. The guy who murdered Laken Riley did not have a violent criminal history before he murdered Laken Riley either. Sometimes these violent criminals aren't violent criminals until they decide to be violent criminals. But what they are, regardless of whether or not they're violent criminals, is they are people who have violated immigration law. Time for a pop quiz in the chat. I know it's early. We're before, 10 minutes in. I know it's early. Pop quiz, right? What percentage of illegal aliens who entered the country illegally, I'm not talking about a visa overstay, okay? What percentage of illegal aliens who entered the country illegally are criminals? What percentage? Wait, it's okay. What percentage of illegal aliens who entered the country illegally are criminals? What percentage? Rednecks got it? 100. Brennan had it before? 100. That's Soul Artist, 100. Save Canada Now. Yeah, save them now. 100. Look at all this. Look. Winky said that in study. She knows the answer. All of them. Look at us. We have a very smart group of people. Star pupils, right? Very smart people. 100. How long have I been saying that?
Forever.
Since way back, right? 100% of illegal aliens. Sonia Smith says 200%.
Whoa.
Someone else said 20 million%. Yes, as long as it's over 100, you are correct. All of them are criminals. Oh, well, technically they're criminals, right? Because, technically, yes. They're criminals. Yes. There are laws that govern the process by which people must follow in order to gain entry into our country, and they broke those laws. They are criminals. 100% of illegal aliens who entered our country illegally are criminals. They may not all have a violent criminal history, but they're all criminals. You've got Jiggly Belly, Pritzker, and Brandon Johnson trying to blame Trump for something that was directly caused by Joe Biden's open border, Joe Biden's catch and release policies, and the sanctuary city and sanctuary state policies of Chicago and Illinois, respectively. We will not let them get away with that. We will not. Not at all. We've got that. We've got another. Yesterday we talked about the mail-in ballot stuff, right? The mail-in ballot ruling that looks like it's coming from the Supreme Court. They're going to be blocking the counting of late mail-in ballots. Election day is the last day where you should be counting votes. Okay? Election day. So that was a big ruling there. The ruling's not official yet, but it looks like that's the direction that they're going to go in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also appears to be poised, appears to be ready to go with a ruling about asylum claims on our border. That's also very good. Okay? So we got that ruling as well. Zoran Mamdani, about to spend $2 million. This is an insane story. He's about to spend $2 million on... we'll get to it, okay? What I was talking about, a couple of minutes ago about Mamdani is, and this is what I'm afraid of, and this is what he's going to try to do, because this is what they all try to do. New York City is not going to get better overnight. We understand that. And what's going to happen is he's going to blame Trump, okay? The first 2 years of my administration, Trump was president. It's not fair. Give me a little bit more time. And then he's going to get elected to a second term in New York City, okay? And then it's really going to go to hell in a handbag, and that's it. The thing is, it may be broken so far by that point that it's beyond repair, it's beyond saving, and that's it. We'll see what happens. But we've got a crazy story out of New York City about Mamdani. North Carolina, a wild story about their GOP State Senate Leader. What happened in the primary? Anybody from North Carolina in the chat, you could chime in if you know about what happened in this primary. Speaking of elections, what a disaster yesterday in Florida. And if you're following Brendan Leslie and Florida's Voice, Ron DeSantis and the state Republican Party did a horrible job in Palm Beach County. A Republican seat, the district where Mar-a-Lago is, a Republican seat just flipped Democrat. And it looks like the governor and the state Republican Party just didn't care that there was even an election going on. Now, maybe it's because they know the seat is back up in November, in 8 months. That doesn't matter. Momentum wins elections, okay? You got to keep stacking wins. You can't keep getting knocked back a step in these races that are easy to win. And it's not like the Republican lost by 10 points. He lost by 2 points. 51-49. Not good out of the state of Florida there. This is supposed to be some Republican stronghold. And there seem to be some, of course, in politics, egos that are getting in the way. And it ain't good. We're going to do a little bit less on Florida, a little bit more on this North Carolina story. And we are going to have fun with AOC at the end of the show today. Also, a quick note. Tonight, I will be filling in on radio for the great Joe Pags. You guys know Joe Pags. I'll be filling in on radio for the great Joe Pags. He is syndicated in 170 stations. So I'll be filling in on radio tonight from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. That'll be live on radio. It's not going to be a video stream of this anywhere, but it will be on radio, and I'll be sharing the links. I'm sure you go to Joe Pag's website, you can listen live. But that will be tonight from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Super excited about that. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm a big fan of Joe Pags. I think he's a great guy. I've been on his show once or twice, and he was also a member of the Swatted. Joe Pags was swatted last year right alongside many of us. So I will be filling in for Joe Pags tonight on radio, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to listen to me a little bit later in the day, I'll be on there as well. And we'll be giving the LFA family a lot of love on the Joe Pags program. All right, let's get to a word from our friends. The allergies are kicking my butt today. I already took a lozenge, didn't work. So the allergies are kicking my butt today. We're gonna need a lot of. Do
you want me to take over?
I need a miracle to get through today's show. I feel like I already got blood in my throat. All right, folks, it is March Madness time at OFP Farms, OFPFarms.com, OFPFarms.com. For a limited time, you can enjoy 25% off of your entire order with the code Shawn, SHAWN, at checkout. Feel confident knowing that you're purchasing premium tallow and goat milk products handcrafted in small batches and delivered directly from the farm to your home with thousands of 5-star reviews. OFP Farms is confident, I'm confident too, that you will love OFP Farms as much as I do, as much as Brennan does, as much as anybody in the chat who's gotten OFP Farms products before does. You're going to love it. You are going to love it. Okay? OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com. Check it out. I'm going to put this banner on your screen, guys. I'm going to put this banner on your screen. OFPfarms.com, March Madness. 25% off with the promo code Sean as OFP Farms continues to grow. They kindly ask for your patience while they refresh the website, designs, and overall customer experience. In the meantime, take a look at the shop, OFPfarms.com, and take advantage of the limited time March Madness sale and receive 25% off of your entire order with the code Sean, SHAWN, at checkout. That is OFPfarms.com, Oscar Foxtrot Papa Farms.com, OFPfarms.com, promo code SHAWN. That's OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean for 25% off during the March Madness sale. The mad scientists at OFP Farms have done a great job. March Madness, and it's OFPfarms.com. Next up, a word from our friends at tryarmor.com/LFA TV. That is TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Folks, you know I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. That is what Armor Colostrum can do for you, and then some. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life, contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Colostrum can help reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow, can help fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism, and it can help fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery. Check it out at tryarmor.com/LFA TV. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV for up to 30% off your entire first order. That is tryarmor.com/LFA TV. TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. All right. Real quickly. I wanted to play this yesterday. I didn't because I looked at my DMs on X a little too late. But Speak sent this to me. He also sent it to Dan Bongino yesterday. And Dan played it yesterday. This is Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut. Mask off. Saying, yeah, the people we care about the most are illegal aliens. But listen to the way he describes these people. And that'll give you complete insight. It'll just tell you exactly what they think about these illegal aliens. And it's exactly what we've been saying for the last 10 plus years. Listen to this.
The negotiation didn't have a path to citizenship. It was entirely on their terms in order to get Ukraine funding, right?
Well, I mean, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. So You are right that has been the Democratic strategy for 30 years, maybe. And it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
Undocumented Americans. What the hell is an undocumented American? No, they're illegal aliens, Chris, from Connecticut. Illegal aliens. Now remember, he just said the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans in this country, illegal aliens. Well, I ask you to think back a few weeks. Remember this?
So tonight I'm inviting every legislature to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Yeah, you get the point. We've seen that clip a million times. The Democrat Party cares more about illegal aliens than they do about actual American citizens, and they're calling them undocumented Americans now. So I am asking Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut to put his money where his mouth is. Okay? You want to talk about these people, they're undocumented Americans? How about you make them undocumented house guests of yours and put them up in your home instead of asking other people to do it in their homes and other people to do it in their communities? He will never do that, ever. These people are disgusting. Remember in November, please, folks, there's a lot of drama. I'm not going to call it infighting because it's not infighting. Okay? But there's a lot of drama out there right now. And there's two plays, I think, that is contributing here. The two angles that I think the drama queens are taking. Now, again, calling people out as phonies and frauds, I don't think is drama. I think it's I think it's something that we should be doing. I don't care what side of the aisle it's on. If I think you're BSing people, I'm going to call it out. Okay? I mean, you saw Monday's show. If I think you're lying and I think you're off base and I think what you're doing is contributing to the destruction of a movement that we have poured 10 plus years of blood, sweat, and tears into, we've endured a lot. And by we, I don't just mean Brennan and I, this whole chat, everybody that we talk to and we hang out with for an hour every day here. We put a lot into this. If I think something's going on, yes, in our tent, I'm going to shoot. We're not going to build this magnificent movement, then have some bad actor come in, pretend he's one of us, and start, dropping turds in the punch bowl. We're not going to let that happen, okay? That's just not, in what world is that okay? Imagine you have you throw a house party, right? You have all your friends over, everything's cool, and you have somebody who you thought was your friend, and he starts, crapping all over the smearing, sugar honey iced tea all over your walls. What are you just going to say? Well, in the spirit of, not infighting, we're just going to let that continue? Of course not. You're going to kick him the hell out of your house. You're not welcome here. I thought you were different. Get out. But here's two points to consider, because I would like to regroup and reorient and resume the mission. The mission is to defeat the left, right? Now, as Dan Bongino has been talking about it on his show, we have to walk, chew gum, and juggle chainsaws at the same time because there's a lot going on. But we have to defeat the left. I'm not telling you not to call out members on our side. I'm not telling you that at all. I'm just telling you to consider this. Two things at play here from the bad actors who are trying to subvert the movement and insert themselves into this movement to destroy it from the inside. Remember how I described it last week? They view this as a piñata. They're smacking the crap out of the piñata, right? They're trying to bust it open so that everything is atomized, all the candy falls out, and they're going to hoard what they can for themselves and run away to set themselves up for 2028. We know this. So here's two angles that they're taking here. Number one, they are trying to, bust up the movement like a piñata and steal all the candy. But number two, they are hogging our attention because that's what they need to stay relevant. And the left is sitting here now unscathed because we're directing a lot of fire at them. And again, a lot of that fire is justified. A lot of that pushback on these people is justified. But we do have to still take it to the left. We can't waste all of our ammunition inside of our own tent either. We've got to strike a balance. So I look at a tool like Ivan Raiklin, and I look at all these idiots that are trying to destroy our movement, and we've called them idiots, and I'm not going to keep saying it over and over and over. They do something new, I'm going to point it out. But it is time to focus our energy on the left. We have got to win these midterms. At the very least, we have to hold on to the Senate, okay? At the very least. Now, this is part of what the message that I want to push going into November. That State of the Union if you believe the American government, the U.S. government's first duty is to American citizens, not illegal aliens, stand. And the entire Democratic Party, at the State of the Union sat Chris Murphy saying the people we care about most are undocumented Americans. That's not a real thing. He's talking about illegal aliens, obviously. Remember in November, these are the clips, these are the moments, these are the times where the Democrats are running bare ass on the beach and it's unwiped and it's a chaotic catastrophe back there. Everyone's like, oh man, put your ass away, dude. It's disgusting. It's unwiped and it's crazy. These are the people and these are the moments that independents need to see over and over. Once is not enough. Over and over and over and over and over again. So they understand that when they fill in, if they're thinking about filling in that bubble in the polling place for a Democrat in November, they are voting for somebody who told them on national television once at the State of the Union, and they've done this more than 2 times. But, the glaring examples, the State of the Union and Chris Murphy here, that they care about people who aren't citizens of this country more than they care about you. And you are a citizen of the country. You're the one paying their salary, not them. These illegals. Now they're trying to blame Donald Trump for Sheridan Gorman's death. So let me see if I have this right. This is what the Democrats are trying to do. Okay? The killer, Jose Medina, who is alleged, we have to say alleged because he hasn't had his, day in court yet, et cetera, okay? Jose Medina entered the United States under Joe Biden and his open border that Biden opened the border from 2021 to 2025. His first day in office, border's wide open, right? Despite Mayorkas telling us the border was secure, despite Kamala Harris and her border policy of don't, all of this, 2021 to 2025, Joe Biden threw the border wide open to our country. The front door to our country was wide open. Nobody was standing guard. The Venezuelan illegal alien who is accused of killing Sheridan Gorman in Chicago, the 18-year-old Loyola student, came across that wide open border in May of 2023. He was apprehended by Border Patrol, CBP, right? And released into our country because that's just what they did. That was Joe Biden's policy. Catch, release. Oh, here's a court date. Show up if you want. Have fun. A month later, in June of 2023, he was arrested in Chicago for shoplifting. I don't know what he was trying to steal. It could have been something as small as a pack of gum from a 7-Eleven. Does not matter. He was arrested in 2023, a month after he was apprehended and released from the border into the country. He was arrested in Chicago for shoplifting. No matter how big or how small, it is a crime. Okay? Now, in a normal city, in a normal society, in a normal state, in a sane world with sane people running the show, if you are arrested for shoplifting and you're not a citizen, the local authorities would report that to Immigration and Customs Enforcement and say, hey, we've got a guy here who is stealing from a convenience store or stealing from a retailer. He's not a citizen. What do you want to do with him? But because the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago are sanctuary jurisdictions, once again, and pro-crime jurisdictions with the cashless bail and all that garbage, because that's the case, they released him again. So this is the Biden regime and CBP, catch on the border, release. This is the city of Chicago arresting this guy for shoplifting. He's an illegal alien, and they release him again. That was in 2023. Twice they had this guy in custody. Democrats did. The Biden regime and Chicago. Twice they had this guy in custody. Twice they did nothing about it. He then murders, allegedly, obviously. He gets his day in court. The evidence is quite overwhelming. I think we're going to see a conviction. But he murders Sheridan Gorman, an 18-year-old Loyola student, just out for a walk. They had this guy in custody twice. And somehow, it's Trump's fault. They're trying to make it Trump's fault that this guy had the opportunity to murder an 18-year-old college student. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. They told the judge, this is from a Chicago publication online, that Gorman and her friends had gone to the lakefront around 1 a.m. to take pictures. Leading the way, and it was late. Leading the way, Gorman reached the end of the pier and encountered the masked Medina, who was concealing himself near the light beacon, prosecutors said. When Gorman and her friends turned and ran back toward the beach, Medina allegedly fired a single shot that struck Gorman in the back and exited through her neck. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Are you serious? Now, allegedly, he was just waiting and watching and hunting her. Records show Medina was released on his own recognizance following the shoplifting arrest. And by the way, oh, what a surprise, never showed up in court. Never showed up in court. After his first failure to appear in July of 2023 for the shoplifting arrest, Judge Peter Gonzalez granted a 30-day continuance. They should hold him liable as an accessory to murder. When he stole from a Macy's. When a Macy's representative showed up for the rescheduled hearing and Medina again did not appear, Gonzalez issued an arrest warrant requiring a $50 deposit for release. $50 freaking dollars! Medina was not apprehended on that warrant until Friday's search warrant execution. But it's Trump's fault? It's Trump's fault that Biden's Customs and Border Protection and Catch and Release policy, that Illinois' sanctuary state policies, that Chicago's sanctuary city policies, and pro-crime cashless bail, hold no criminal accountable policies, let this guy out. They had him twice. Once he was, ROR. And the next time, had they gotten him, he could have given him $50. He would have been released again. $50. But it's Trump's fault. Here's Jiggly Belly Pritzker blaming Donald Trump for Sheridan Gorman's death. I'm not making this up. Watch this.
There have been real failures. Those failures, of course, extend beyond the borders of Illinois. That's their national failures, a failure to have comprehensive immigration reform, a failure of the president to follow his own edict to go after the worst of the worst.
Whoa. Hold on. It's Trump's fault that they couldn't get this guy? Wait a second. You guys had him. You had him first. You had him. Chicago had arrested him for shoplifting. You let him out. And I guarantee you, if Donald Trump and ICE went into Chicago and pulled this guy off the streets, he doesn't have a violent criminal history. He does not have a violent criminal history. Shoplifting is not considered a violent crime. It's a crime. I'm not advocating for it. I'm not defending it. It's not considered a violent crime. Simple shoplifting. It's not aggravated robbery, none of this stuff. Shoplifting. If he had stolen a sock from Macy's, whatever it is, shoplifting, okay? That's not considered a violent crime. So if Donald Trump had taken this guy and ICE had taken this guy off the streets of Chicago, that fat FUCK would have sat here and said, he's not going after the worst of the worst. He's not going, this guy doesn't have a violent criminal history. So hold on a second. So are you telling us you want us to get all the illegals out of your city? Or are you telling us, Donald Trump, he's not going after the worst? What? Make up your mind, fatty. Put down the cheese sandwich, you slob, and listen to what you're saying. One more time, let's play this one from Pritzker.
There have been real failures. Those failures, of course, extend beyond the borders of Illinois. They're national failures, a failure to have comprehensive immigration reform, a failure of the president to follow his own edict to go after the worst of the worst.
To go after the worst of the worst. Well, according to you and your party, this guy doesn't have a violent criminal history. Therefore, he's not one of the worst of the worst. Now he is. Thank you for proving our point, you slob. The point is, sometimes the worst of the worst, we don't know they're the worst of the worst until they do something like this. This guy shoplifted. It's a crime. Came into our country illegally. That's a crime. Missed a court date. That's a crime. But these are not considered violent crimes. So this guy would not have been considered worst of the worst. You understand what I'm trying to say? Had they nabbed this guy, had ICE gone after this guy, they would have said, oh, look, this is ICE. They say they're going after the worst of the worst, but they just grabbed the guy with no violent criminal history. The point of the matter is you're being proactive, not reactive. We don't know some of these illegal aliens are violent criminals until they kill somebody. Oh, are you painting with a broad brush? Yes, I'm painting with a broad brush. You know why? Because none of them should be here. None of them should have the opportunity to take an American life because they're not legally entitled to be in our country. Why is this so hard to understand? Here's Brandon Johnson. Oh, wait till you hear this one. This will get you fired up. Here's Brandon Johnson blaming Trump. At least trying to. Don't let them get away with this. Here's Brandon Johnson trying to blame Trump for Sheridan Gorman's death as well. This is the mayor of Chicago. Remember, Chicago, who had this guy in custody. They had him in custody and let him go in June of 2023 because they are a pro-crime, pro-illegal alien, pro-sanctuary policy jurisdiction. Watch.
We're going to continue to pray for those victims.
Will you take this opportunity to apologize to Sheridan's parents for the policies that you promoted that would directly caused her death? That suspect would not be in the city, would not be in the country, but for your policies. Will you take this opportunity to apologize?
Well, again, I believe that we're all grieving the loss of Sheridan and other folks who have lost their lives because of senseless violence. And let's just be very clear, between the Safety Act and the Welcoming City Ordinance. The Welcoming City Ordinance was passed 40 years ago by the first black mayor in the history of Chicago. And the Safety Act was passed under the governor, at that time, who was a Republican, Governor Rauner. Thank you for your questions.
So you will not apologize to Sheridan's parents?
Hi, Mayor.
No apology.
No, he's not going to apologize. It's your own policies. Oh, and there was another clip of Brandon Johnson that was going around where he blamed, of course, guns. Here, let me say this slower. You freaking dope, okay? Listen up. You low IQ, slow on intake, liberal communist dirtbag, mayor of Chicago. Listen. It's not the gun. It's the guy holding the gun. The guy holding the gun was an illegal alien who should not have been in our country that your city had custody of in 2023, and you let him go. If you didn't let him go and you reported him to ICE and you let them know that, oh, we're in custody, we have an illegal alien in custody right now who just shoplifted from a Macy's, ICE could have taken him out of your city. And then he never would have been on the pier at 1 a.m. with a gun. But you didn't do that. Your city didn't do that. You didn't want to do that. And now an 18-year-old is dead because of it. You're going to blame Trump? Pritzker, oh, he's not following his own edict to get rid of the worst of the worst. This guy wouldn't have qualified as worst of the worst because all he did was shoplift. He didn't have a violent criminal history. If ICE had grabbed him in Chicago, you guys would have bitched about that. Oh, they're not going after the worst of the worst. They're going after anybody. You're damn freaking right we're going after everybody. Because sometimes we don't know who the murderer is until they murder somebody. This being a case, Lake and Riley being a case, and so on and so forth. Don't let them get away with this, please. I know that there is a demoralization campaign being run against us right now. I know a lot of people are fatigued. I know a lot of people are turned off by the drama. I know a lot of people. I don't give a damn about any of that. It is time to strap in, lock in, and get serious about winning in November. To quote Dan, cutesy time is over. There's no peace pipe. There's no kumbaya. I'm not here to give you hugs. I'm here to win freaking elections. It is time to hammer this message home. Put on the horse blinders if you have to block out the noise, but lock the F in. It is time to win, guys and gals. The noise, the distractions, the people who are running ops on MAGA, they are here to turn you off, to demoralize you, to put you back on the sidelines so that we lose. And the Democrats are taking full advantage of that. The Democrats are taking full advantage of that. And they're sitting here trying to pile on Trump, acting like it's his fault that this illegal alien was in the country and was released by Democrats who wound up shooting and killing an 18-year-old girl. Do not let them get away with this. Do not let them get away with this. To the guys and gals who are in this chat, you guys are rock stars. You guys are the hardcore. Thousands of you every single day. I kindly, humbly, respectfully ask, please be force multipliers. I don't care if you share my show or you share Misfit's show or you share Jeremy's show or I don't care what you share. Just please share the message. What is the message? What is the mission? The mission is remember in November and win. Please. I don't care how we do it. I don't care what this is not about clicks for me. This is not about subscribers for me. This is not about money. I so desperately want to win. Please. Please. While you're at it, on this stream, while you're here on this stream, okay? As Decluse says, the message is destroy all Democrats. Yes, politically. Okay? I'm not encouraging violence. While you're watching this, if you could do us a favor, obviously, you know this is not hard. You know how much this helps the stream. I don't care about honking this freaking dog toy. It's fun. Congratulations. Folks, this has got to be a team effort here. Hit the thumbs up, share with your friends, follow. This is not, I love the whole hedgehog thing. It's fun. Haha. It's great. It's about the mission. The mission is to win. And the smallest little things, the thumbs up, the follows, and the shares, you become, it's like Star Wars, you underestimate your power. Like, you don't understand the power that you have. These little things can help us win this huge, huge fight. It was like, oh, what can one person do? One person can do a little. 2,500 who is in this chat right now can do a lot if we all each do a little. Many hands make light work. Anyway, let's do a little. Folks, a quick word from our friends over at Silent. It's slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/S. HAWN, slnt.com/Sean. Let's face it, folks, your phone is a tracking device between government agencies, big tech, Corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint. And they don't ask. They just go on and they take it. That is why Silent exists, folks. They make Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology that's trusted by special operations teams around the world, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, it is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. All you've got to do is drop your phone in a silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. All you got to do is visit slnt.com/Sean to get 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. That is slnt.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent.com, slnt.com. Silence the chaos and go silent today. slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/SHAWN. All right. I got a little bit of water here. Have we hit Mo yet? We were close last I checked.
No, but we are close.
All right, guys, just do that. I don't get. It's not about the having fun with the hog. Okay, it's about that. What that allows this to do, what it enables this stream to do, is it enables it to reach more people, and we have to reach as many as we can. All right. Let's move on to, this is interesting. You know, rules for thee, but not for me, right? Congress, they love doing this, right? They think they're above us. Well, Delta Airlines, hit them with a quite a humbling blow here. According to Delta Airlines, they are revoking the special privilege, of members of Congress. That video made me sick. And I know there's going to be people who are going to, why are you attacking Nancy Mace? Because she cut the whole freaking line. That's why I'm attacking Nancy Mace. Is she going to be the governor of South Carolina? I hope so. Be great. But she's very performative at times. And this whole, I'm more important than her. No, you stand your ass in line with everybody else at the airport. What makes you so special? The Democrat-induced nightmare at American airports could be hitting home for members of Congress. Delta Airlines, headquartered in Atlanta, is suspending a specialty service desk for federal lawmakers until the TSA is fully funded. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, according to the columnist, Patricia Murphy from the AJC, is apparently just as fed up, Delta is, as the rest of us. Delta is suspending its special services congressional desk for members of Congress until the shutdown is over. Quote, due to the impact on resources from the long-standing government shutdown, Delta will temporarily suspend specialty services to members of Congress flying Delta. Next to safety, Delta's number one priority is taking care of our people and customers, which has become increasingly difficult in the current environment. Good. Make these people who are no better than you stand in the same lines that we have to stand in. It is about time that these members of Congress, like Nancy Mace and others, she's not the only one, but that video of her went viral, spend just a day in our shoes. They don't know what it's like. It's time they feel it. It's time they feel it. Okay. He wants you to do a little bit more, okay? Let's go. All right. Let's take another quick break, get to a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA, and then we're going to fly through a couple things here. Supreme Court, Mamdani. Yeah, we'll get to Mamdani and AOC. All right. Let's get to a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
I'm sure by now you've heard that silver went up 160% last year, 2025. I bought this silver for $22 an ounce. It's now worth almost $100. And we and experts think that silver is going to get up to about $200 an ounce. Palladium and platinum were stuck at $900 an ounce for like over a year. or in that area. Now they're up over $2,000. Gold is approaching $5,000 an ounce. If you have ever thought about putting some or all of your retirement or nest egg or savings or just buying bullion in precious metals, now's the time to do it. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. That's goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Go leave your name, your email, and your phone number. Schedule a time to talk to the folks over at Golden Crest Metals. Get your free gold guide today, and make sure you tune in on Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Crest Report, where we dive deep into precious metals, why they're doing what they're doing, and where we expect them to go. It is like insider trading. Nancy Pelosi knows about that. We don't. It's just inside information. It's not even really that. It's called knowledge. Get yours today and get a part of gold, silver, palladium, and platinum and diversify your portfolio today. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. I'm going to highlight this comment in the chat right now, if I can, from the Fourth Strike. It was a super chat. Or a Rumble rant, sorry, that's a YouTube term, super chat. Here you go, you see on your screen. If they would actually, this is talking about Congress, if they would actually be doing the work to make their districts the best ever, then maybe they deserve perks. Yes! Yes! Maybe if they would actually do something for the American people, they deserve some perks. But until then, F them! You wait in line with the rest of us. You're no better than us. You're a servant, a public servant. All right. Supreme Court is going to be appears poised. You know what? I'm going to tease this today. We're going to go over this more in detail tomorrow, and probably tonight on the Joe Pags Show. The Supreme Court appears poised to allow Trump to block asylum claims at the border. This is a very significant ruling. That's coming up. We will talk more about this tomorrow because I don't want to just give that. So we're going to tease it. That's going to be tomorrow. But we'll go over it tonight, long form on the radio, Joe Pags, between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time. This is a funny one. Zoran Mamdani is going to be spending nearly $2 million to hire what he's calling mass engagement activists to promote the socialist agenda. So this is what Mamdani's doing. He is taking $2 million. They're already in a deficit in New York City. He's going to take $2 million to hire people to tell other people in New York City why the socialist agenda is the right direction for New York City. Right? So he's taking $2 million of taxpayer money to hire people to advocate to other people why they need to give Mamdani even more of their money. Good luck. You know, we knew Mamdani was crazy when he was running. He's a Islamo-Marxist. We get it. Right? You know, I just didn't expect it to be going this fast. Now, again, he's playing with, I don't believe this, but what he's going to do when things start to fail in New York City is he's going to blame Trump. And, if it wasn't for Trump, and even though Trump's not doing anything to New York City, it's Trump's fault. Give me more time. Give me more time. You know that's what he's going to do. And New York City will fall for it because they're a bunch of dopes over there. Oh, socialism, everything's going to be free. If everything's going to be free, why does everything cost more? Can we just stop and ask ourselves that question? You're going to pay more in taxes so that you get free things. Megaphone. If you're paying more for something, it isn't free. Didn't think we'd have to yell that in 2026, and yet, here we are. Folks, your vote matters. This is a big story in North Carolina. Any North Carolinians in the chat who played a role in this? I say that like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. One of the most powerful members of North Carolina's state Senate just conceded a primary loss. He's been ousted. Longtime Senate President pro tempore Phil Berger and Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page for Senate District 26 saw Page shockingly ahead of Berger by, you want to know how much he won by? Initially? For those of you who say, my vote doesn't matter, it's all rigged, what's the point? 2 votes. 2 votes. The incumbent lost by 2 votes. This is the Republican primary. After a recount, 23 votes. That's 1 block of houses. 1 block. For those of you who say your vote doesn't matter and it's selections, not elections, 23 votes. Now, it looks like this is a good thing in that they're getting some fresh blood in there in North Carolina, at least at the GOP side or the GOP primary, that this challenger beat the longtime entrenched establishment Republican. Could you imagine if 24 people in that race thought their vote didn't matter and listened to that piece of you-know-what, Sugar Honey Iced Tea, Linwood? We're not going to vote on machines made in China. A-hole he is. Could you imagine if 24 people who voted for the sheriff to be the next state senator believed that their vote didn't matter? What would have happened? You'd be stuck with the establishment guy. Your vote matters. Too big to rig is real. Do it. Embody it. Own the process. Be a part of candidate selection. Brennan and I go out door knocking every weekend for a sheriff who's running in a primary. That is candidate selection. It's the most important thing you can do is play a role in that primary. All right. I've been teasing this AOC story. It's going to be quick, but it's funny. AOC's campaign spent $19,000 on a psychiatrist known for hallucinogenic therapy. Yeah, that's going to work. What, was she tripping balls with the doctor? And pass me the ayahuasca tea. And maybe that's why she's like all over the place. 19 grand to trip balls with a doctor? You kidding me? Now, I don't know if she actually got, she actually tripped. But I mean, come on now. Hallucinogenic, it's $19,000. Okay. No wonder why she's got them crazy eyes all the time. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tapped nearly $19,000 from her campaign coffers last year to pay for a psychiatrist who specializes in ketamine therapy, a powerful drug that puts patients in a hallucinogenic state to treat disorders like trauma and depression. All right. I guess there's nothing to see here. Just spend your campaign money on everything but the campaign. No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Harrell coming up next here on rumble.com/LFA TV. If you're listening on audio, we've seen a huge increase on audio. Thank you so much. Share the audio link with your friends as well. All you got to do is subscribe. Appreciate it. Hey, farishmedia@gmail.com is the email for the show if you'd like to send an email there, or ungoverned@gmail.com. If you're listening on audio, say hi in the email. I want to see how many people towards the end of the audio podcast are listening. I would just say hi. Just say hi. I'll try and respond to all you guys. And, we'll start a little line of communication there. farishmedia@gmail.com or ungovernedshow@gmail.com. Jeremy Harrell up next here on rumble.com/LFA TV. If you're listening on audio, go to rumble.com/LFA TV. Hit the follow button, hit the thumbs up button for the big stream. Also the solo shows that get posted after the fact. We're off to join Michael Patrick Leahy on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show for the Tennessee bonus hour. And I'll be on guest hosting, filling in for Joe Pags tonight, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. Follow me on the social media channels that I've got. I'll be posting links when we go live on radio. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Ungoverned. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Jeremy Harrell up next, and thank you for your attention to this matter.